And strangely, we don't get a congratulations screen on that one. Kinda weird, but I guess that's just the way the game is programmed, I guess. So now comes the fun part. The Chao raising is going to be restarted now. But before we do head there, first off, let's take a look at the emblem list just to be absolutely certain.
How many emblems do you have?
Yep, all emblems achieved there for Hero Story, Dark Story, and Canon's Core. So the only emblems that are left are the Kart Race, Boss Rush, and the Chao activities, which we will be getting into those first. The Chao activities are going to be taken care of because they are the longest, most tedious part of the whole playthrough. So, with that in mind, time to head into the Chao Garden and begin the Chao raising all over again. So, why do we have to restart the entire Chao raising? Well, as I've mentioned previously, or more or less in Session 7, or the... No, that's this session. I'm an idiot. As I was saying, as I mentioned previously, due to the fact that I lost all my save data and my data corrupted itself in the GameCube release, we do have to start over when it comes to Chao raising, which is kind of unfortunate. So, we do have to hatch all the eggs all over again. And just again, to reiterate, when you first spawn into the Chao Garden for the first time, you'll get 2 regular Chao eggs just lying around about. The orange egg that you're seeing here, you can buy from the black market randomly. Which I managed to get lucky and managed to find the orange egg, so I was able to more or less kind of resurrect Futaba. Know what I mean? Speaking of which, here she is. Alright, let's check out all the stats and see who I'm going to be using this time. No, I don't want to check the doctor. Alright, and the stats are crap. Good swim, but bad fly and power. And S and stamina, that's kind of interesting. Well, whatever. Sadly, Futaba's not gonna be our Lord and Savior. No. Now then, time to give her a name. Give her her name back. Yeah, I'm gonna name you myself. There we go. Futaba is named. And she's back. Kind of. I mean, not stat-wise, but obviously just her appearance is returned. Now for the other two. We have Ren and, of course, Akechi-kun. Might as well give this to you. Okay. Why am I streaming under the original Sonic Adventure 2? Because for some weird reason, Twitch does not have a category for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. It's kind of weird and dumb. YouTube has it, but not Twitch. It's just really strange. Alright, let's check the stats on you. Medical chart. Not a big fan of that swim stat, but everything else is good. I'm pretty sure that's gonna come back and bite me in the ass, though. I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna be using this Chao, despite its kind of trash stats on swim, or if I'm gonna be using the other one. I'm just gonna set you here and see what happens. Alright, let's see what kind of RNG we get for this Chao. Oh yeah, those are nowhere near as good. So, well, we have a winner! We're going with the Chao with the D in swimming. That one's going to be named Ren, and this one is going to be named Akechi. Quartz? No. That is a bad name. Okay. Oops. I thought I selected E. There we go. Now it's properly spelled. Checkaroonie. Oh. Maybe it does. I will check next time I stream this game.
Don't worry, buddy.
Okay. Now for you, my friend. Say hello once again, folks, to Renamalia, whom I probably mistakenly called Renamalia. I mean, to be fair, his last name doesn't really sound... no, we're not named him Bubbles. Screw you. Renamalia. I think that's just a dash rather than a regular dot. Not that I see any regular dots here. Screw it. This'll work. 8. Aha! There's a proper dot. Perfect. Renamalia. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Oh boy. So this is where the real fun begins. So at this point, we're going to be using these things called Chaos Drives as well as animals to raise our Chao's levels. And depending on the Chao that you get and its stats, you might get lucky with fairly decent stats all around, averaging all around for your regular Chao, or you may get unlucky. So how this is going to be working here is the reason why I have 3 Chao as opposed to me working with just these 2 here is because in order to unlock all the Chao races, what you have to do here is you have to raise a hero Chao, a dark Chao, and a neutral Chao. Why the neutral Chao? Because the neutral Chao is the only one that's able to compete in all races. Oops. Funny enough, if you whistle, then if the Chao's stats are high enough, then they'll come running to you wanting a hug. So that's interesting. So when it comes to Chao raising, what I decided to do from as early as a long frickin' time ago when I first started this whole grind to begin with is Futaba is going to be the hero Chao while Akechi is going to be the dark Chao. And for anyone who's played Persona 5, you should know the reason why. But I'm not going to get into spoilers because this isn't the right time to do so. If you really want to shift someone's alignment, just repeatedly pet the Chao over and over and over again. I don't know why, but repeatedly mashing and just petting your Chao over and over again shifts their alignment a lot faster versus just petting them and holding the pet button. So it's kind of weird if you ask me. Another way you can shift an alignment of a Chao is with a hero character, just abuse the poor thing. That is one way you can do it. But I'm not a sick bastard who would do such a thing. I mean, maybe by accident, but not intentionally. So one way to monitor your Chao's alignment is to watch their skin color change as well as the balls on their head. If it starts shifting from yellow to light green to eventually blue, then that means they're shifting towards the hero alignment. But if it starts shifting from yellow to pinkish red to just pure red, then that means they're shifting towards the dark alignment. In order for them to shift into their respective alignments, you need to raise those Chao with respective hero and dark characters. So if you want a hero Chao, you kind of need to raise that Chao with a hero character like Sonic, Tails, and or Knuckles. And the same also holds true when it comes to the dark characters, Shadow, Dr. Eggman, and Rouge. Raising a Chao with one of those three will shift the alignment towards the dark side. Another way to help, sort of, when it comes to shifting an alignment on a Chao is to feed them like Hero Fruit and Dark Fruit. But honestly, it's nowhere near as effective as just petting them over and over again and using a glitch that is like the greatest glitch known to man, known as the animal duplication glitch. Unfortunately, I don't have any animals to give to my Chao at the moment, so I can't really utilize the glitch at the moment. But if we go into stages and pick up some animals and then head back into the Chao garden, then we should be good to go. So, let's go ahead and take care of that now. When it comes to Chaos Drives, technically speaking, you can repeatedly use them over and over again using the same method as the animal duplication glitch. But the thing is, with the Chaos Drives, they're a lot harder to do that because upon giving a Chao a Chaos Drive via the animal duplication glitch method, the Chaos Drive will shoot like way far away. So, as cool as it would be to repeatedly use the Chaos Drives because they have no downsides, it's really inefficient, in my opinion. So, one other thing I haven't mentioned yet, or at least when it comes to this particular version of the Chao raising, is there are several stats. There are 5 main stats that you need to keep in mind when raising Chao. There's also a hidden one that you need to keep in mind as well. I'll get into that in a little bit. Anywho, the 5 main stats are Swim, Slide, Run, Power, and Stamina. These stats are pretty damn important, minus the Stamina stat. The Stamina stat is not the most important thing to raise, so having that kinda low is not the worst thing ever. It honestly isn't. So that's something to keep in mind. This is fine. I will say this though, when it comes to, shoot, what was I gonna say? By the way, this isn't quite what I was thinking earlier, but in order to really shift someone's alignment, while you're petting them over and over again, you do have to see the heart appear above their heads. If you don't see the heart, then their alignment isn't going to shift as easily. So this is easily seen if your Chao is tired. So as you can see, we're already shifting Akechi's alignment towards the dark side, which is good. because this means that we'll be able to unlock the Dark Chao Garden faster. By the way, if you're wondering, like, how long does it take for a Chao to mature? Well, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think it takes roughly 3 hours in-game time within the Chao Garden. I could be wrong, but I think that's how it works under normal circumstances. Although I think if you want them to mature faster, then you could intentionally, like, beat the shit out of them and kick them like a frickin' kickball. That is, if you want to do that, you monster. Seriously, don't. Because there is one hidden stat, which I'll go into now. This is hidden from the player. And this is what determines whether or not your Chao will evolve into a Hero Chao, Dark Chao, or even a Neutral Chao in the first place. This stat is hidden, and that is happiness. If your Chao isn't happy, it will die. It will die of sadness. So, yeah, as much fun as it is to kick a Chao around just to shift their alignment faster, do it too much and they'll get so depressed they will literally kill themselves. I'm not trying to be funny, I'm serious. You don't want to do that, you monster, so don't be a monster. Be a good person. Pet them. Give them nice pets, cuddle them. Give them lots of love with their respective characters. Especially when it comes to alignment, if you know what I mean. So, if you're having trouble getting the heart to appear from a Chao, feed them. Give them some food, or give them an animal or two. Don't worry about it, okay? It's really not hard, it's not rocket science. You don't have to worry about starvation when it comes to Chao raising whatsoever. I don't think the Chao can starve, which is a good thing because, especially if you're a speedrunner, that can be quite stressful. Alright, back in we go. Now this is where the fun really begins when it comes to animal duplication. This is also where things are going to get kind of stressful for like the beginning parts of the Chao raising grind. Why? Because when it comes to setting up the animals and just your Chao in general, you need to keep in mind that the Chao's alignment is very, very important. So, one other thing worth mentioning here is when doing the animal duplication glitch, it is very easy to end up screwing up like that. That stinks. Alright, no big deal. We got a few more animals to work with. Okay, let's get you out of the water so that way we can set you back up. When it comes to acquiring certain animals, I think the skunks are some of the worst animals you can give to a Chao in this game. Mainly due to the fact that they don't really raise a Chao's stats very much. They usually raise them like by 1 or 2 points, sometimes. But the benefit of the fact that they don't raise stats very much is that they have no downsides for giving them to a Chao whatsoever. So that's pretty sweet. One other thing you could do to try to set up an animal duplication glitch is distract them with food. Feed them with like a Chao fruit and they should be fine. They should be good for at least a few seconds. In which case you can get into position to give the Chao the animal of which you desire to give them. Again, not the fastest way of getting them to cooperate, but it's better than nothing. Also, try not to do this too fast. If you give them an animal and then either pet them or pick up the animal again, then the animal is wasted. And by wasted, I mean the power is not absorbed by the Chao, which would be pointless. That would be bad. Excuse me. Another thing worth mentioning is that I believe when a Chao's run level becomes level 5, then instead of crawling around on the ground, they'll actually start walking, which is pretty sweet. And when it comes to their swim, I think when swim becomes level 5 at the very least, then the Chao will no longer struggle to keep afloat. Instead, it'll actually start swimming, which is pretty sweet.
Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry, buddy.
Alright. Now at this point, I definitely need to work on realigning Ren's alignment towards the dark side a little bit. Again, you could potentially shift alignment by means of giving a hero fruit or dark fruit to a Chao with a different character. But honestly, I don't find that to be anywhere near as reliable as giving them animals, doing the animal duplication glitch, or just petting them over and over again. But that's just me. So, that is pretty nice.
Gotta be close.
Even though completing the stage was unnecessary, I kind of wanted to see if there were any other enemies around. No big deal. Oh, whoa, would you look at that?
Perfect.
Got another A rank without even trying. Lol. Alright, time to work on Ren's alignment a little bit more. After we do this, I'm going to head into Wild Canyon with Knuckles. And the reason why... Oops, I don't want to kick the poor thing. One thing that's kind of annoying sometimes is... occasionally, when it comes to the animals, sometimes they'll try to go towards the exit of the Chao Garden. Another thing that's kind of annoying when it comes to animal duplication with Rouge is that her drop speed is considered one of the slowest in the game. Like, see, that took way too long. By the time Rouge would have put down the animal, more than likely the Chao would have moved just close enough to actually use the animal normally. Normally, if an animal is given to a Chao, then that animal cannot be used again. Unless, of course, you stand a perfect distance between you and your Chao, in which case you can use the animals infinitely. Just until, of course, you give the Chao the animal under normal circumstances. Just saying. Kind of interesting to see that the peacock is also raising the swim stat a little bit too. What a waste. Good old Futaba. She can never go wrong. So again, best way to set up an animal duplication glitch is, again, to distract your Chao with a piece of fruit. Chao fruit works absolutely perfectly, as it gives you ample time to grab the animal, get in position, and then start laying down the smackdown. LOL. If the caregiver happens to rotate a bit too much in front of the Chao, just tap the analog stick to the left one time, like once or twice. Damn it! I got too close. Yeah, whatever, we got another otter. We're good with this. Okay, looks like I was wrong when it came to the swim stat. Ren's swim is up to level 6, and he's still struggling. Perhaps it's also tied to, like, the letter grade given to the stat? I'm not 100% sure on this. Perhaps it takes longer for that child to learn certain abilities when their stats are kind of bad. There is kind of a way that you can try to manipulate the child's stats in your favor. It's a bit scummy, but since the Chao Garden data uses its own save data, if you don't get the stats you desire, just simply exit out of the game. Exit out of the game without saving Chao data. Afterwards, reload the Chao Garden, rehatch the eggs, and pray you get better stats. Technically speaking, I could have done this with Ren and his swim stat, but I was more than satisfied with his other stats that I was more than willing to accept the sacrifice. So, all in all, no big deal. Also, now that I'm playing the HD re-releases of Sonic Adventure 2, I can show off a pretty unique sort of glitch with Knuckles. And you'll soon see what I mean. Alright, now comes the fun part, folks. Alrighty, Ren, it's time for some more animals. Come here, buddy. Come here. Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. You didn't do anything wrong, no matter what the cruddy adults tell you. Oops, not close enough. Kind of interesting to see that Ren almost moved just close enough to pick it up normally. So one thing I haven't mentioned yet is that when it comes to giving certain animals to your Chao, depending on what the animal is, it may lower some stats, kind of, but it only lowers the progression of the stat. It doesn't actually lower the level itself, or even the stat numbers as you see on the bars there. So for example, a peacock may lower, like, run speed, kind of, or power, but really it doesn't lower it, like, lower the level itself. Come on, give me the thing. So what I'm trying to say is sometimes an animal may lower a stat or something as far as their progression is concerned, but significantly raise other stats. if this happens, don't worry about it. Honestly, you really, really shouldn't. As, again, once the progression bar drops down to 0, then the downsides just go away altogether. So that's something to keep in mind. One thing worth mentioning, though, is that the mythological animals such as dragons, phoenixes, unicorns, etc., those mystic animals, they don't lower any stats whatsoever. They have no downsides, so they can be used infinitely. So long as you do the animal duplication glitch correctly. And there, I guess I got a bit too close. That should be good, as far as distance is concerned. Let me tell you folks, this is definitely the most tedious part of the whole Emblem grind. Just raising Chao. And praying to God that you get good stats with them as well. Funny enough, in the Steam release of this game, there is a sort of trainer that you can apply. It is a mod, but it is one that can help give you more favorable stats when it comes to your Chao and your Chao children in general. Alright, that should be enough. Now we need to work on shifting his alignment back towards the dark side a bit. Speaking of dark side, looks like Akechi's taking a nap, and looks like Futaba's doing the same. There you go. So, this is something I kind of wanted to show off. I did show this off a little bit in the GameCube version, but if you walk towards the right while holding an object, like barely, something like this, after a little bit of time, watch this. Oh no! Knuckles' ankle, for whatever reason, his right ankle rotates like 180 degrees. It's so weird. And this only occurs in the PS3, Xbox 360, and Steam releases of this game. And I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think mods can fix this. It's so weird how this glitch does not occur in the original Dreamcast release, or even in the GameCube release. Only in the HD re-releases of the game does it occur. And before we leave, I want to see if I can get myself something rather nice here. So, after collecting a certain number of emblems, there is a random chance that an additional theme will appear. After you collect all the emblems in the game, then all 3 additional themes could potentially appear here in the black market. But the odds of them appearing are really damn low. You're better off playing a FIFA Ultimate Team and getting some of the rarest cards in the game. I'm not kidding. It's that bad as far as odds are concerned. But unlike FIFA Ultimate Team, you don't have to pay real money in order to get your hands on these themes. Well, that took a lot more time than necessary, that's for sure. If you are going to be doing Chao raising for a dark character, definitely pick someone who is like... Oh, I would pick Rouge, honestly. Here, have an actual hedgehog that isn't animomorphic. I mean, not like that, but... Nice job messing that up. Here. Where'd that unicorn go? Come here. That's the perfect distance. There is one other thing worth mentioning here, and that is there is sort of a quote-unquote true completionist sort of goal that you can achieve via Chao raising. But it's one of those things that is so time-consuming that you're better off not even bothering with it. It's not even required in order to truly 100% the game. There is an additional sort of evolution. But like I said, very time-consuming and not worth our time here in this playthrough. This sort of thing I'm talking about here is what is known as the perfect chaos Chao. The requirements for this is rather interesting. So what needs to occur is your Chao needs to reincarnate at least twice. Afterwards, it will have to reincarnate again once more, and eventually when it evolves once more, then and only then does it become a Chaos Chao. But this is where the real fun really kicks in into frickin' overdrive. There is what is known as the perfect Chaos Chao. So, what do I mean by this? It is possible to raise your Chao's initial stats. In order to have this occur, what needs to happen is a Chao needs to reincarnate. How they go about doing this is once they evolve into either a Hero Chao, Dark Chao, or a Neutral Chao, after a certain amount of time passes in-game, they will either evolve again and go back to a baby sort of state, or they will just die. Flat out. Again, this is solely based on their happiness, like how they were raised throughout their entire life. If they're happy, then they will happily reincarnate. When this occurs, their stats will drop back down to level 1, but their letter grade on some of their stats will increase. I'm not sure if all letter stats increase, or if it's just one at random. I'm not 100% sure how the whole reincarnation process works. But even so, that's not something I'm going to be doing this playthrough. It is completely unnecessary for me, in my honest opinion. Just raising all of your Chao stats to level 99 is more than enough for me. Even if stamina is not at level 99, so long as its other 4 stats are good enough for the Chao activities, then everything is right with the world. Just saying. Speaking from experience, folks. Speaking from experience. Here, have a hedgehog. There you go, Catchy. Alright. Now then, time to work on realigning Ren's alignment again. Once more with feeling. Alright, Ren. There you are. Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. Yeah, it seems like giving Ren the ghost dog is probably the best thing to give him. Funny enough, any sort of metamorphosis that your Chao obtained, if you give them a ghost dog, then then for some weird reason they lose those features. This also includes bats. So that's something. Although it doesn't seem like it's affecting the arms, but now it is. Yeah, it seems like ghost dogs are the way to go when it comes to just plain old raising your Chao and raising its stats. Just like with mythological animals, there's no downsides to giving them to your Chao. Sure, they'll just look generic, but it's better than nothing. Interesting. The bat didn't take away the Chao's legs. Perhaps because I gave it so many frickin' ghost dogs. Who knows? Oh, come on, take it. Not like that. They only take it when they move. That is such bullcrap. Let's get set back up. Not like that. Damn it. Do I have any other animals around? Oh, I do. I got a couple of hedgehogs. Looks like Ren's finally learning how to swim. Ain't that sweet? It's funny how I say that and I don't have the camera pointed at him. But you get the idea. Well, looks like Ren's had enough. I don't blame the poor kid. By the way, whenever a Chao becomes tired and they want to sleep, it does become a little bit harder to do the animal duplication glitch with them, just because they're so dang tired. Here you go, Futaba. One thing worth mentioning here is that I know I mentioned earlier that you can watch a Chao change by the color of their skin. Well, this only applies to regular old everyday Chao, but different colored Chao like the orange Chao, shiny Chao, etc., their skin colors do not change as far as I know. So again, the only real way you'll be able to tell what their alignment is by the little ball on their head. It's kind of interesting to see that Futaba's stamina stat is an S. Out of all stats. Why stamina? And whatever, it ain't a big deal. Another thing I haven't really mentioned yet is, believe it or not, you can actually sell the eggshells for additional rings. Granted, you won't get very many rings in return, but it is a way to make a couple of extra rings if you really want to. Though it's not the most efficient way of getting rings in my honest opinion. No, that would involve going through the stages and just collecting rings that way. There is another sort of way you can sort of cheat the system and gain a bunch of rings. If you take an item to the black market, go into the options menu, change something, or go into the options menu, exit, what will happen is the system settings will save with the additional rings given to you, but the object which originally gave you those rings in the first place came from the Chao Garden, and therefore, since that object is tied to Chao Garden data, you get to keep the rings and the object is sort of replenished. It's kind of it's kind of weird to talk about here without actually showing what I mean. But really, I don't need rings whatsoever, so there's really no need to show off that glitch at all. Excuse me. Alrighty. Well, looks like Ren's taking a nice long nap. I'm okay with this. Wake on up, buddy. I will say this. The whole Chao raising part of the... The whole Chao raising of the Great Emblem Grind, yeah, it is the most tedious part of the whole thing. But now that we can just concentrate on this should go by a hell of a lot faster versus how I was handling it originally throughout the course of the playthrough. So, that's something to keep in mind. This also means that we can be a lot more efficient when it comes to grinding a Chao's level. One more thing worth mentioning here is when you give a Chao... There are certain animals that really help with raising certain stats, such as parrots and other birds really help with flight. Thanks, Captain Obvious. I never would have noticed. There's also other animals like gorillas that also help with certain attributes. They mainly help with power. Dang it. Didn't mean to do that. One more thing worth mentioning here is if you give a certain animal species to a Chao, then they may mimic that animal's actions depending on how many of that animal species you give them. Here you go, Ketchy. Nice bear for you. Okay. Well, looks like it's realignment time once again. I'm okay with this. One more thing to keep in mind, and I haven't mentioned this yet, is if you happen to leave the Chao Garden and you have not used all your animals, then the animals you brought into the Chao Garden, for whatever reason, those animals vanish. They vanish without a trace. It's really strange. Even stranger still is after an animal is used, sure, they'll stick around for a little bit, just hang out, but as soon as you turn the camera away from them, more often than not, that animal just vanishes too. One thing I will mention here is if you are doing this legitimately, the whole Chao raising part would take for goddamn ever. Just saying, it's not exactly a fun time for anyone. Unless again you're using the whole animal duplication glitch, in which case that makes things a hell of a lot easier and a lot more tolerable. Okay, where the hell is he? Here he is. One more thing I will mention here is if you happen to pick up some Chaos Drives along with animals, give your Chao the Chaos Drives first.
Don't worry, buddy.
This will be kind of interesting to see if Ren becomes a flying Chao type. Yeah, I know what I said. After a Chao evolves and becomes either a Hero Chao, Dark Chao, or Neutral Chao, they'll actually specialize in a certain type, whether it be flight, power, swim, or I believe endurance is another one. I feel like there's also a sort of running type Chao as well, though I don't quite recall what that type is called, as I've never gotten that type before. Come on, really? One more thing I will mention here is be careful when doing the animal duplication glitch with other Chao around, because you might accidentally give an animal to another Chao while trying to do the animal duplication glitch of the Chao that you're working on. So that's something to keep in mind. Well, this is interesting. I think, technically speaking, this animal that I'm giving Ren right now is an undead kind of animal. And another thing, too, it also changed the little ball on top of its head from a regular ball to a flame. Really strange. I mean, this doesn't really mean much of anything, as far as I know. It's just the other parts of the ball is what really matters in the end. As well as its skin color, if it's applicable. That'll be enough for now. I say as I continue to give him animals. I'm pretty sure there is a way to undo that ball on top of his head. And I'm pretty sure you just have to give it a ghost dog, or skeleton dog, whatever it is. You get the idea.
Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry, buddy.
Well, I will say this, at this rate, I'm going to guess by the time sometime next session, we should hopefully see an evolution. Maybe we'll see all three Chao evolve in the next session, who knows? Considering the efficiency that we're going about this, I wouldn't be surprised. That actually would be pretty cool if that were the case. Like I said, we'll find out sometime soon. Alright, let's head on out. Now, where the hell is Ren? Hello? Ren? Where are you, boy? Interesting. Sometimes just finding your Chao can be a bit of a task in itself. But thankfully, it's not the worst thing ever, by far. It's kind of funny how your Chao spawns in random places, sometimes, when you first enter the Chao garden. But once you find them, you should be good to go. Damn. Damn. Not here. I'll be here all week. Come on, seriously? One thing I kind of want to do here is distract Ren just long enough so I'm able to just put this down in the right spot so he doesn't use it normally. Okay. So yeah, it seems to me that the whole little flame above his head, that's gone now. I guess if you give it another dragon or something, give it a dragon or some other mythological animal, then that will undo that, which is pretty sweet. Oh, come on, seriously? God damn it! Again, for whatever reason, it was the right distance, and yet he just was not picking it up. He only picked it up when he moved. That is bull. And I wasted so many damn animals just trying to distract him. It's also kind of annoying to see that sometimes your Chao will just insist on going for a swim. Funny enough, whenever a Chao decides to go for a swim or some other weird activity like this, it usually... No. What I'm trying to say is, if they go for a swim, there's no way you can do the animal duplication glitch or even give them anything whatsoever. They're in the middle of swimming. Duh. They can't, like, absorb the animal's power or anything like that while they're swimming. Makes sense. Whoops. What a waste. Oh, god damn it. Come on. God, I always feel like I'm just barely short. All in all, if you really want to raise your Chao's fly stat really quickly, give them birds like peacocks and parrots. Peacocks and parrots are the best animals to give to your Chao to raise their fly stat incredibly quickly. Damn it, Akechi! I know you love delicious pancakes, but Jesus, man, don't be mean. That was Ren's. Asshole. Jeez. Why does this have to be such a pain? Well, I think I used up all my animals. Great. Thank you, Akechi. Akechi-kun. Stupid pancakes. Damn it. All because the game prioritized picking up the frickin', or penning the damn Chao. Yeah, man, this stinks. Well, to be fair, I kind of want to raise Ren's stamina a bit, too. So, it's not the end of the world. There's always more opportunities to gather additional animals and just continue working on raising stats. Just one thing to keep in mind is if you are working on raising stats for your Chao, if they're extremely tired and you're trying to do the whole petting thing to raise or change their alignment, that's not really going to work too well. Just because they're so damn tired, they're tired of your shiz. You know what I mean? If that's the case and you're trying to shift alignment, it might not hurt to buy a hero fruit or dark fruit respectively, just to feed them and raise their stamina. Just, again, I just don't find it as efficient, in my honest opinion. But if you got rings to burn, why the hell not? It is nice to see that the Sly is like more than halfway done when it comes to leveling. The max level that any stat can achieve is level 99, by the way. There is no level 100, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Looks like Akechi wants to take a nice long nap. I mean, after the cruise he's been on, yeah, he definitely deserves it. I think after Ren eats this, I'm gonna go ahead and head out and play another hero stage. In fact, I may just go to Wild Canyon, just for efficiency's sake. Hi, Futaba. Alright, that ought to be good for now. Now then, off to Wild Canyon to pick up some more animals, some more cannon fodder. Lol. Hey, Ren buddy, how you doing? You ready for some more animal fodder? This isn't gonna work too well. Definitely need a distraction of some kind. Well, I guess that works. Well, I was kind of hoping for a Chao fruit to appear. Perfect. Perfect setup, perfect distance. Damn it! Got too close somehow. Damn it, dude. You just had to move at the last possible moment, like as soon as I picked them up. Well, I guess I'll work on giving you rams. Which, funny enough, during my childhood, I mistakenly call these sheep. They're rams. Like a Dodge Ram. But, not really. You know what I mean, these are rams. A sort of a subspecies of sheep. funny enough, I believe rams are probably the best balanced animals to give to a Chao in the game. They don't drop any stats, but they do tend to raise stats of a Chao by roughly 2 points. Which, again, not the most efficient thing in the world, but it's better than nothing. I think at this point I definitely want to be careful of giving Ren any additional animals with Knuckles right now. Looks like it's going to be time to give Animal to pick up some animals with other characters. Maybe I'll give Dr. Eggman a shot. That doesn't seem like a bad idea.
That was too close.
Okay, let's see what we can do with Dr. Eggman and the animal duplication thing. This is probably not going to end very well because doing the animal duplication glitch with Eggman is really damn difficult. The problem with Eggman is that whenever he picks up an animal, he does move forward a bit. He does have fast pickup and drop speed, though, so that's something to say the least. Even so, though, even so. If you're really good at doing the animal duplication glitch, then Dr. Eggman is probably one of the faster characters to do the glitch with. Level 41 swim. Nice to see. Okay, good. He's staying in place. $69 fly. He's pretty fly. Know what I mean, folks? Kind of interesting that we're somehow now recreating Ren's form, which he had previously, just before the whole data corruption happened. Hmm? The hell is that? Oh, that's cute. A catchy singing. Occasionally, you may hear a Chao sing every now and again, and when they're first learning to sing, they're not exactly people who can carry a tune. They just cannot carry a tune in a bucket. But there is a way that a Chao can perform better in certain activities, such as singing. In order for them to get better at certain activities, such as singing, they have to go to school. Some of you may know, but there were several doors at the Chao kindergarten. One of those doors, you can actually drop your Chao off temporarily to have them learn a new activity. And once their lesson is finished, then there's a chance that they may do that activity while in the Chao Garden. So, it is something worth mentioning, but it's by no means required in order to get all the emblems in the game. It's just an extra thing that you can do just for the hell of it, if you really want to. Once you drop off a Chao in the Chao Kindergarten, that was kind of funny to see how Dr. Eggman was petting Ren while he was swimming. That's kind of surreal. Okay, a bit further back. I think Ren was trying to impersonate a gorilla. That's neat. Here you go, buddy. I'm pretty sure by the time we get done here, Ren is definitely going to be finishing up Flight as his first maxed out stat. That's going to be interesting. Technically speaking, you could do the extra Chao activities early, if you so desire, but it's not exactly what we call efficient to do that. It's a better idea to wait until you max out all of your Chao stats before you even think about doing those activities. And when I say all stats, I mean the 4 primary stats, which are swims, run, power, and flight. Once those 4 stats are maxed out, then you can very confidently do those activities with no problem. Unless, of course, their letter grade stats are bad, in which case you may have some problems in the near future, just an FYI. Hey Ren, how you doing? Ready for some more animal fun? 'Cause I sure as hell am. Come here. One other thing worth mentioning here is, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Knuckles and Rouge are tied when it comes to their pickup and drop speeds of picking up and dropping animals and other objects. So therefore, doing the whole animal duplication glitch with them may not be the wisest of choices, but honestly, the whole lacking in speed when it comes to that really isn't a big deal to me. It honestly isn't. Where did the other dragon go? There it is. Just a bit further now. Oh, come on, seriously? What a waste. Well, because he just refused to accept the dragon. He refused to accept the way of the dragon. I'm surprised that worked out. I guess that's where the whole slow pick up and drop speed can really come in and ruin you. Because it takes like roughly 2 seconds for Knuckles and Rouge to drop an animal. If a Chao is active and they're not super sleepy, then more than likely they're going to end up moving before you can even give them the animal. Just a tad bit too close. Honestly, it really is the best opportunity to do the animal duplication glitch when your Chao is, like, already sleepy. That way you can hold them in place, kind of, wake them up with a simple pet on the head, and then quickly grab the animal. Keep in mind, you do have to set up your Chao in a peculiar way in order to even do something like this. Alright, that's fine. Wow, Fly is up to level 88. That's pretty damn massive. Pretty sweet to see, all things considered. Oops, didn't mean to pick you up. I think I'm gonna go into one more stage and then call it a session. Just so I can, again, work on realigning Red's alignment towards the dark side just a bit further. Just so that way, for the next session, I can start fresh with the hero section. With a hero stage, if you know what I mean.
Now there.
I think this ought to be okay. Alright, let's head out. I know I'm technically about to go over the 3-hour mark now, but we're gonna do one more stage. Alright, one more round of the Chao duplication, or no, what am I saying? One more round of this, and then we'll be all set for today. Here you go. So far, so good when it comes to power. Power may be the lowest stat right now, but if you manage to make good use of these gorillas, then we should hopefully be able to raise this up to at least level 50. That is if I don't miss. Here, take it. Take the gorilla. Damn it! I knew that was too close. Talk about setting a freaking unrealistic goal. Oops. What's kind of interesting to see is that sometimes giving your Chao a gorilla may also raise its run stat too. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it usually raises it by 1 point. So all things considered, that's pretty good. Alright, I think its alignment's starting to shift a bit too much there. I guess he's full from food. Makes sense. I have a feeling once Ren evolves, he's gonna turn into a flying type neutral Chao. It's not like the types really matter all that much in the end. It just means they specialize in one particular stat versus another. One more thing worth mentioning here is even the balance stat boosting animals such as skunks raise all stats. They do not raise stamina. You can only raise stamina by feeding your Chao fruit and other fruits of that nature. Okay, that'll be enough. Alrighty folks, we're gonna go ahead and call it a day here. I gotta say, we made some really damn good progress today, if I do say so myself.
What stage are we
And
going to play?
Ren's stats are almost back to where they were before the whole data corruption thing occurred in the first place, so that's pretty sweet. So, with that folks, I bid you all adieu for today. This is General Snivy with the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Playthrough. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you were able to attend the live stream live, thank you for attending. Next time, the Chao raising continues. Maybe we'll be able to max out all of Ren's stats sometime soon in the next session, and maybe everyone will evolve in the next session as well, considering that we can just concentrate on nothing but raising our Chao children at this point going forward. That should be a pretty smooth experience. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. See you all next time. Hello there, everybody. This is General Snivy, and welcome back to more of the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Playthrough. Last time we completed the last 2 levels of the game, got all the A ranks, and we restarted the whole Chao raising process. So in today's session, we're going to continue raising our Chao to make it the best Chao like no one ever was. I'm not even sure how else to follow up on that, but regardless though, that's what we're doing. We're going to be continuing the whole Chao raising process, so that way our Chao Ren will be more than ready to go for the Chao activities for later down the line. Hopefully everything will fall into place today, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Anywho, first things first though, we do need to gather some animals and get some things moving here. So, let's go and get moving. Alright, time to get back to it. Anywho, now to answer your question of how my week's been. Well, I know that I was supposed to, technically speaking, resume this whole Chao raising process today, or no, this past Monday rather, but the reason why I didn't get around to doing so until now is I'm surprised I managed to time that just right. Anyway, back to what I was saying. This week has been really hectic when it came to just managing my time in general. This past Monday... Oops. Sorry, Ren. Aw. I noticed that Ren was starting to sing. That was cute. Anyway, as I was trying to say, this past Monday alone has been one of the most hectic Mondays I've had in quite some time. Just this past Monday, my mom asked me to help her with cleaning the entire house, which I did manage to do so. But let me tell you, cleaning the house is normally not that bad. Granted, I also cleaned the bathroom too. That was another task and a half. But hey, it is what it is. Back to what I was saying though. Not only did I have to clean the house by means of vacuuming, dusting, and having to clean the bathroom from top to bottom, I also had to replace the toilet seat. Well, more or less, my mother and I worked together to replace the toilet seat because, oh my god, just that alone was a massive pain in the ass and a frickin' nightmare. Let me tell you, replacing a toilet seat, no matter how easy it looks, it's not easy. It never is. I swear, it just seems like replacing a toilet seat alone requires a team effort. It's that frickin' extreme. So, when it came to replacing the toilet seat, that took almost a frickin' hour. In fact, it did. It took over a frickin' hour alone just to replace a frickin' toilet seat. Why? Well, the old toilet seat broke. How did that happen? I'm not too sure, but what I do know is one of the hinges broke, and that was not a fun time. One of the hinges was like snapped in half. It was like the left hinge. Alright. I think the alignment's starting to shift a bit too far, so let's go ahead and cash out here. That way we could work on additional realignment duties. Okay, so like I was saying, just replacing the frickin' toilet seat was a pain in the ass. That alone took over a frickin' hour to do. Once that was done, thankfully, cleaning the rest of the bathroom wasn't too bad. But, again, the whole toilet seat breaking, that wasn't really my fault. Or was it? I honestly am not too sure. It's just the hinge somehow broke in half. I didn't even realize it until one day I felt the toilet seat kind of shift when I was wiping my butt after going to the bathroom. It was not a fun time for anyone. After we got the toilet seat taken care of and all disassembled, when it came to putting the new seat on, that also was a pretty big pain in the ass. Not the biggest pain in the ass around, but still, it was not great. Thankfully, that didn't take anywhere near as long as just getting the old toilet seat off, because, sweet Jesus, just getting the old toilet seat off was... Ugh. I'd rather not replace another toilet seat for a long-ass time. So, what made it such a pain in the ass was that the broken hinge on the broken part of the toilet seat, it was just not coming off no matter what we did. We even used pliers to try to loosen up the broken hinge and just the broken part of the thing in general. Yeah, agreed, 100%. I mean, it took a lot of trial and error trying to figure out, like, how are we going to get this stupid thing to come off? And it's like, no matter which way we turned it, it was like rotating the entire hinge or whatever it was. It just was not coming off. Worth a damn. Like, at all. So overall, not a fun time. At all. But yeah, thankfully it is all over now. The new toilet seat is on, but it's not tightened all the way. I mean, we tightened it about as far as we could possibly tighten it to, which is just tightening it as far as we could with our own hands. And trying to turn it any further is just absolutely painful. That was... Toilet seats, in a nutshell, are bullshit. Alright. I will say this at the very least. It is nice to see that Ren's levels are almost finished when it comes to his fly level. It's almost completely maxed out at level 91 currently. And thankfully it will be going up even further. Oh my god, get off the tree. Here, eat this. It's also kind of funny to see that sometimes a Chao, if you give it a Chao fruit or something, it'll just instantly throw it away for no reason. Perhaps at that point it's signifying to you that, hey, the Chao is full. I wonder if hunger and stuff of that nature are a thing. I mean, I suppose it is, because eventually a Chao will go to a Chao fruit on their own and just eat it. So I guess that's something. And I also noticed something kind of peculiar. That is, giving Ren a unicorn, or just giving a Chao a unicorn in general, for some weird reason, it has a strange ability of being able to contribute towards the fly stat. Albeit not very many points, but even so, it's kind of strange. But hey, anything to level up all the stats is fine by me. Okay, just a bit further now. That should be enough of that for now. Okay. Here, go ahead and eat this, buddy. I was like, where the hell is a Ketchikun? Here he is. There is one other thing worth noting in here, and that is with the treasure hunting characters Rouge and Knuckles. If you're using them while moving around the Chao Garden, they cannot cling onto the walls in here. Why? Because the walls in the Chao Garden are not programmed to be scalable. Instead of being able to scale the wall, you'll just bounce right off of it. So, that's something worth mentioning. Here you go from Kaba. Anywho, time to get moving, grab some more animals. Hey Ren, how you doing? I know you're tired AF, but come on buddy. We still got some work that needs to be done here. Almost there when it comes to levels, which is good to see. I will say this, at least when they're getting close to maturing, I believe they will start taking different shapes and forms. Depending on the animals that you give them and whether or not you do the animal duplication glitch, the shapes of their bodies will change quite dramatically. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Really? Well, because the stupid peacock had to get in the way. Where's the other dragon? Of course, it's at the level exit. Lol. Alrighty then. Not what I wanted, but I guess whatever works. So at this point, if you notice that your Chao that you're going to be using, if their alignment is too shifted in one particular direction, and you still have a lot of animals left over, just give those animals to other Chao instead. And when I say give it to them, I mean like, give it to them normally. Not by means of the animal duplication glitch. Just saying. Here you go. Eat it, buddy. Come on, buddy, you gotta eat up. Build up that stamina of yours, buddy. If you don't, you're gonna fall behind quite hard in these Chao activities. And that wouldn't be fun for anyone. Otherwise, we'd be playing them for much longer than necessary. Here, Akechi. Not that you really need that. No big deal, I guess. There is one other thing I haven't really gone over yet, and that is the whole Chao departure machine that you see right there. Funny enough, if you're playing the Dreamcast release, then the shape of this device would be a VMU, but on GameCube this would be replaced with a Game Boy Advance, and for Xbox 360, PS3, and Steam, it's replaced with just this. And if you're wondering what the whole significance of this machine is, if you bring a Chao to this machine, you'll have access to a couple of different functions. Depending on the version of the game, you'll have some additional functionality, but for Xbox 360, PS3, and Steam, you only have the goodbye option and quit. As you can see, goodbye is currently highlighted in gray because you didn't bring a Chao over. I mean, if you're not happy with the way a Chao is, you can just send it away via this goodbye machine. Doing so will mean that the Chao will be gone and you won't be seeing it ever again. So it's not the same as killing it. That's not even close. I'm just saying. But if you're playing this on GameCube, you will also have the ability to link up a Game Boy Advance with a copy of Sonic Advance, and I think Sonic Advance 2, but don't quote me on that. But regardless, if you link up with either one of those two games, you'll have access to the mini Chao Garden that you can transfer your Chao into. Doing so will allow you to work on its stats even further, and do so on the go if you so wish. But there is still a chance that your Chao could run away if you leave it unattended. I think that's how it works. Yeah, it is pretty interesting. Of course, that functionality was stripped in the Xbox 360, PS3, and Steam release for obvious reasons. There's no way to link Sonic Advance to any of those versions of the game. Not even with hardware modifications. Just saying. You can also partake in a couple of mini-games in the whole mini Chao Garden thing as well. I think it allows you to boost the stats of your Chao even more. Then again, maybe it's just a way to keep them happy. I'm not 100% sure how this works. I never used the functionality myself, as I never owned a copy of Sonic Advance, nor did I have a Game Boy Advance link cable. If I did, I might have borrowed it from someone a long time ago, but obviously I don't have the cable now, and it's not like I really need it anyway. Even so, I figure I'd point it out anyway. Here comes big boy Eggman. And more audio hitches. My favorite kind of hitches. Come on, pick him up. Don't attack him. Don't be mean. I know Eggman is an evil scientist, but he does have some sort of a conscience. Come here. Eat this. That's kind of cute how the raccoon looks like it wants to be Ren's friend. So, one other thing worth mentioning here is if you give a ghost dog or a skeleton dog to a Chao that's lost its legs previously due to a bat, you can restore its legs by giving them that ghost dog. Just saying. So yeah, when it comes to the whole animal duplication thing, it is definitely a lot harder to execute it with Eggman. But it seems to me that he has the fastest pickup and drop speed out of all the characters. But it comes at a cost that every time he picks up an animal and puts it down, he does move several inches forward. And what do you know? Look at that! Looks like Ren's flight is now maxed out. That is awesome. So at this point, he no longer needs any birds, which is cool. And even if you give him any more birds and other animals that fly and stuff, it's not exactly the best thing to do because the only thing it does is raise flight. Okay, I'm cool with this. You want to eat Futaba? Whoops, sorry. I meant to pick up the bird next to you, not the fruit. Jeez. I guess Eggman really is trying to be the evil scientist that he is. Roll. Alright. Okay. Let's just give it to him. I know, Ren. I know you're tired. I know you want to just take a nice long nap. But trust me, there's no need for it. I thought for a minute there, Akechi was starting to evolve. Although that would be kind of cool to see Akechi evolve, and highly appropriate too, considering the source material where the names came from. Just saying though, that's just me. Again, apologies for the audio hitches, there's nothing I can do about that. That's just the way this port was botched. Audio hitches. But it's better than freezing every 2 seconds. Alright? There is something I kind of want to try here. And this thing I'm talking about is maybe giving some hero fruit and dark fruit to my Chao children to see if they can evolve a little bit faster. I think the only purpose of these fruit is just to help with their alignment, and that's really about it. Alright, that should be good. I know I only bought like one of each, but the whole point of it is just, again, to try and work on the alignments. Another thing worth mentioning too is that when it comes to these fruit, the only thing they do is just raise the stamina stat. Although again, I think alongside the raising of stamina, it also shifts that person's alignment more significantly than normal. Though again, just patting them over and over again is more effective. I feel as though giving them the proper fruit also helps with that. Okay. That ought to be good for now. Now then. Time to get moving. Oh wow, would you look at that? Another A rank.
That was cool.
Game. Okay. Hey, Ren, time for more fun. Don't worry, buddy. This will be over soon, I promise. Well, I didn't necessarily want to pick up the RAM, but this is fine. There is one other thing I've noticed from the last session versus this one. Not so much the stream itself, but what I've noticed is if you happen to pick up an animal and drop it way too fast, then even if you are the right distance away from a Chao, it's not gonna accept the animal, which is kind of interesting. Here, take it. feel as though once we get another level maxed out, or close to maxing out another level, then Ren will finally evolve somehow. As far as what level we're going to be getting next, that's still kind of a mystery. I mean, right now, Ren's running level is his second highest level. Oops. That should be enough rabbits. Again, to reiterate, try not to do this too fast, otherwise you'll not only waste the animal, but the Chao will not absorb its stats either. So that's something to keep in mind. I think at this point, Ren is getting closer towards his evolution state. Fingers crossed that he evolves soon, along with everyone else. Honestly, once Ren evolves, speak of the devil and they shall appear! Looks like Ren is finally evolving. That's awesome! Well, what do you know? An evolution finally happened. Alright, let's pray that he evolves into a neutral Chao. Which it looks like it is going to be a neutral Chao. Usually you can tell that a Chao is going to be a neutral Chao when there's no fanfare upon a Chao evolving. If there is a fanfare, then that means that Chao is evolving into either a Hero Chao or Dark Chao, respectively. And what do you know? Would you look at that? Ladies and gentlemen, Ren has evolved into a neutral Chao. Well, you know, that's amazing. So at this point now, we don't even need to worry about alignments anymore. Why? Because at this point, since Ren is now a neutral Chao, there's no need to worry about alignments ever again. Not until he reincarnates, which hopefully we won't get to that point in this playthrough, but even so. Let's take a look at the medical chart. Let's see, he's a neutral Chao and is a flying type Chao. Jeez. It's kind of hilarious. Considering that, yeah, flight is his best stat. Still, that is pretty awesome to see. Okay. Alright. I'm definitely really happy to see that Ren has finally evolved into a neutral Chao, and he looks amazing. Especially considering if you played the source material from aka Persona 5 and reached the end of the game, you'll know that this specific Chao type is so appropriate. Absolutely appropriate. Not gonna say what that is, but even so, I'm just saying.
Don't worry, buddy.
No. Now at this point, we just gotta get Futaba as well as Akechi to evolve into their next forms. Which, again, to reiterate, in order to unlock the Hero Guard and Dark Gardens respectively, you do have to raise a Hero Chao as well as a Dark Chao. And funny enough, just unlocking the Gardens is enough to consider the bracelet, or consider the okay, I can't speak today. As I was saying, just raising a Hero Chao and Dark Chao respectively are enough to unlock all the activities for the Chao stuff for later. which I think I might have already spoiled, but yeah, there are Chao races. And there's also one more activity that was added as a part of the Battle DLC. And this other activity does hold a few more emblems, so if you really want to 100% the game, you will have to buckle down an additional $5 just to be able to do so. Just an FYI. It's annoying, but it's $5. No big deal. I know that today's economy is really tough, especially considering our current predicament, but even so. Just saying, if you manage to get like $5 eventually, getting the DLC is honestly not a bad idea. You're only getting some additional content. I wish it was free, just like it was with the GameCube release, but that's just me. Well, I guess at this point I might as well go ahead and start gathering a few more animals for Ren. And we could just farm Wild Canyon for all eternity now, which is pretty sweet. Okay. Alright, Ren. Time for you to absorb more powers of animals and become the almighty chaos. The wild card of which you are destined to be. They call you a trickster for a reason. It is pretty cool to see that Ren finally evolved, which is awesome. But why am I giving them a vulture? Might as well try to keep giving them dragons, because dragons are cool. Considering that this dragon is pink rather than purple makes it kinda a little bit lamer, but even so, dragons are still badass, no matter the color. Although it does make me question, the dragons that you're giving to your Chao, are they female dragons? I mean, judging by the textures on their eyes and the facial details, that seems to be a big fat maybe, but I don't know. I don't think the animals themselves are signified by their gender or anything like that. There's no gender specifics in this game. Makes sense. I mean, you're giving an animal to a Chao, technically speaking. It shouldn't matter whether or not it's male or female. Still, it does make me question these things once in a while. So at this point, we're well over a third done when it comes to Chao raising. We're not quite done yet, unfortunately. There's still the matter of getting the Hero in Dark Gardens unlocked. But once they're unlocked, then the fun can officially begin. And like I said, eventually Futaba and Akechi will evolve to their respective forms. One more thing worth mentioning is, if you give your Chao some sort of object that they can wear as a mask, depending on their age, which usually is signified by their evolutionary form, they will either put on the object over their head, or they'll just throw it away. Usually if you give the object to a Chao while they're young, then they'll just throw away the object. But if they're older and more mature, then they'll wear the object proudly. Funny enough, you can buy a couple of different kinds of objects in the black market. Just keep in mind, they're really expensive. Well, I didn't mean to do that, but I guess whatever works. Still got another one to work with, too. Here, buddy. Eat up. Before the Chao races and all that stuff begins, I definitely want to see if I can get Ren's stamina up to at least level 15 or level 20. Why? Just so that way he has plenty of stamina for the long haul for later. Just saying. It is going to take a little bit of time to get him to that point, but once he gets there, he's basically going to be set. He's going to be more than ready to go. Just again to reiterate, the other 4 stats are more important than stamina, but stamina still has a vital role. And that is, if the stamina is too low, then they're not going to be able to endure the activities very long. Just saying. They'll be good for short sprints, but that would be all they're good for. It's also kind of funny to see sometimes, come on, really? As I was trying to say, it's kind of funny to see that sometimes, depending on where the Chao is sitting and eating their fruit, they'll just, instead of throwing the fruit away, it'll just be left in place, which is kind of hilarious. I'm not sure if it's like a visual anomaly, or if it's just due to the way the terrain is set up, or even the Chao itself. Maybe it just feels like, I want to put it down rather than throw it over my head. You know what I mean? Who knows? The game is weird. It's over 20 years old, and things like this are bound to be expected.
Now there.
Here, take it. Now, for the most part, even though Ren's fly level is maxed out, giving him birds may not be the worst idea, but keep in mind, because birds specialize in flight, they don't tend to raise other stats very much, and sometimes they'll even decrease certain stats overall, so that's something to keep in mind. There you go. I think a vulture does have a bit of a tendency to raise a couple of other stats besides flight. Though I don't think they have the ability to swim due to their natural habitat being primarily the desert. They can raise swim. Interesting. I never knew that. Well then. That's interesting. Here you go. Here, just so you're not left out. Even though that's not necessarily the best of ideas, considering what I need to do next. Just saying. One other way to tell if your Chao is about to evolve is if they're just sitting around without a tired icon above their head, which is like the little swirly line that kind of looks like a spring. Just saying, kind of like that, with the catchy there, but if they sit for a long period of time, and then you notice something starting to appear around them, then that means they're about ready to evolve. Now there. honestly, I really am happy to see that progress for the whole Chao racing thing is going a lot more smoothly this time, as opposed to the last time I attempted this. Just again, due in part with the fact that Grind evolved in the second Chao racing session. Considering the circumstances of having to start later versus doing it over the course of the playthrough, it really speaks in volume, like efficiency, versus just doing it throughout the course of the playthrough. Just saying. There is something else I kind of want to try real quick. I don't think Futaba is mature enough to wear this yet. Yeah, I thought so. I wanted to see if she would wear that, but nope. Not quite. We're not there yet, folks. Okay, that probably wasn't the best of ideas, but whatever. Moving on. Well done.
Here we go.
Another A rank.
Ultimate victory.
Didn't see that coming. Honestly, I thought I took way too long, but not a big deal. Moving on. In we go, please. Alright, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do here is give the Chaos Drives to other Chao, as opposed to Ren. Not that he wouldn't benefit from those things. Just saying, just trying to evolve my other Chao a little bit faster. But that's just me. Speaking of Ren... It's cute to see that he is taking a nice long nap. Here you go. Now, where is the Phoenix? Here it is. Aw, thanks for the bow. Damn it. That was lame. He just had to move at the last possible moment. Well, whatever. I guess it's not that big of a deal. Almost done when it comes to all the other levels. At least the other levels are up to at least level 70. Almost up to 75 for everything. Run and swim are 75, power is 74. Which is fine with me. I'm okay with this. Maybe at this rate, I should be able to max out Ren's levels by the time we reach roughly the 2-hour mark. Even though I'm giving myself a lot of time here. Maybe by the time we reach the 2-hour mark, the other Chao will evolve. We'll see. One thing I kind of wondered is, ever since I was a kid, I wonder if the plural for Chao are Chows, or if it's just Chao, like moose and moose. Know what I mean? What do you think the plural is? Is it just Chao? Or do you think it's something else? Like platypus, platypuses, platypi? God only knows. It's also kind of hilarious to see that out of all the animals that Sonic Team put into this game to give to your Chao, there are no platypuses to find at all. I mean, there's a bunch of other different kinds of animals, but no platypi. Which is kind of lame. You're catchy. Damn it, too fast. Alright, just a bit further now. I also find it kind of interesting that the only kinds of tigers that you find in this game are just regular, average, everyday tigers, the orange variety, and not the more rare variety of the white tigers. Kind of interesting. Same also kind of holds true when it comes to the gorillas. Why are there no black gorillas and only blue ones? What's that all about? It would have been kind of interesting to see that different animals of the same species, like different colored animals, have like different benefits. Like one different colored gorilla, for example, would raise more power than the other variety, but are more rare and harder to find. You know what I mean? It's also kind of interesting to see that the tiger does not raise swimming stats. Even though in real life, tigers can very well swim, as far as I know. Though you don't really see them swimming all that often. So I guess that's the reason why they don't raise the swim stat, but just saying, kinda weird if you ask me. Yeah, I know, I'm asking for realism in a frickin' Sonic game. Not the best idea, but what can I say? I'm a bit picky when it comes to these things sometimes. I wonder if swim's gonna be the final stat that I raise to level 99. That would be kind of hilarious if that would be the case. It is also pretty awesome to see that the tiger races not only power, but also run. Makes sense considering that tigers are pretty fast animals out there. Not as fast as the cheetah, but still, they're fast. They're pretty fast. And they're also pretty strong, too. You know, talking about these animals and stuff really makes me ponder. I haven't really been to a zoo in a very long time. Hell, I wonder if there even is one in Maine. I know in Maryland there was like the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore, and I haven't been to a zoo ever since I was a little kid. Hell, I wonder if they're even around anymore. I would suppose that they are most certainly around, but they're just nowhere near as commonplace as they once were. Nice, double level up. Oh, come on, seriously? Alright, this is fine. We still got plenty of tigers. Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Here, eat this. This should be a good enough distance. Time to finish this up. I also find it kind of interesting that Ren is a flying Chao type, and yet, even though when he evolved his flight stat was the highest, at this point it's no longer the case, which is kind of interesting. Again, types aren't really all that important, at least in my mind, but that's just me. Wow, level 90 swim. Power's almost maxed out at level 98. I think I'm just gonna need at least one more tiger before I can raise that to level 99. I wonder if I do have any more tigers or anything like that. I also need to raise his run stat further too. Thankfully that's almost done. Also, one other thing I will mention here is that I'm not aware of any sort of insane methods of raising a Chao's stamina incredibly quickly. You could buy mushrooms in the black market, and I think what they do is they could potentially raise all stats at once, but only by like 1 or 2 points. They also raise stamina more efficiently too, I think. I could be wrong. I could be misremembering when it comes to that, but even so. Apparently, penguins have a chance to increase run power, or run level too. That's neat. It is sweet to see that Ren's levels are all in the 90s pretty much. Almost all of them are maxed out at this point, which is sweet. But stamina still needs some work, for sure. I definitely want to try raising that by 2 more levels before I even attempt the Chao activities. And considering that Ren's stamina level is not exactly the highest grade, I think it's a C last time I checked. It should still be fine when it comes to just stamina overall. But even so, I definitely want to try to raise that a little bit further before we even attempt other activities for him. At least it's up to level 14, which is pretty sweet. So, one thing I am definitely going to do is, after I finish leveling up all of Ren's stats to level 99, which should hopefully be done within the next trip, once I finish that, then I will be focusing on the other Chao children, just to raise their stats enough to the point where they can evolve. Or even if they will evolve at all. That's the question. Will they evolve? I'm sure they will evolve soon enough. It's just going to take quite a bit of time before they evolve yet. Even though all 3 Chao were born at roughly the same time, Ren did receive the most attention for obvious reasons. And, of course, raising stats, I think that does contribute a little bit towards a Chao's maturity, but not very much. I am happy to see that Ren's stamina is finally up to level 15, but I kind of want to push further. I want to push for level 20 at least, which I might end up doing after I finish gathering more stuff. There you go. Alrighty. Now then, time to gather some more animals, raise the rest of Ren's stats, and start working on the other Chao children. Well, I didn't really intend to finish this stage, but oh well. I thought I knew where the third Chao box was, but nope, not quite.
I gotta do better next time.
Eee.
Everything will be okay.
Damn it, I wanted to grab the animal, not pet. Yeah. Gotta love the game sometimes with it confusing its actions from one another. Just the best. Alright, swim is now officially maxed out, ladies and gentlemen. That is pretty sweet. So at this point now, only thing we really need to do here is just work on Ren's other stats.
Everything will be okay.
Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Again, if your Chao is active and you're trying to do the animal duplication glitch with them, distract them with Chao fruit and you should be set. Okay. Alright, power's maxed out. Only thing left now is run. Run, Forest, run. Kind of interesting to see that run is going to be the final stat Ren maxes out. It is going to take quite a bit of time to get Ren's run stat to level 99, but thankfully it is going up by at least 2 points every time with the tiger. As far as giving him other types of animals like a skunk, yeah, it is balanced, but I think it'll only raise the run stat by like 1 point. Speaking of which, let's put that to the test. Not expected, but... yeah, only 1 point. Like 1 or 2 points, sometimes. I'm cool with this. Better to raise the stat by like 2 points roughly every time versus like 1. Oops, too fast. Of course, took it. Thankfully, I got plenty more skunks where that came from. Ain't I a stinky? Oh, here you go. It's also kind of funny that sometimes if you're really fast and you go towards where a Chao is, you might end up petting it while it's swimming, which is kind of hilarious. Because while you're petting it, you're just constantly moving towards it every single time. There we go. All 4 stats are maxed out, and whoa! Futaba is evolving, and somehow her texture glitched out. I guess it depends on the camera angle. But even so, Futaba is finally evolving. And that fanfare means that she is finally evolving into a hero Chao. At least that's how it should work. Yes, indeed it is. Awesome! Now, where's that eggshell? I kind of want to give it to you now. There you go, Futaba. And it's absolutely okay. I guess she's not mature enough to wear that yet, but no big deal. Alright. Now that the Hero Garden's unlocked, here it is. Welcome to the Hero Garden. Whenever you reach a new garden or unlock a new garden, one more Chao egg just appears out of nowhere and is laid within the garden before you. You can take this egg to the neutral Chao garden if you so wish, if you want to try raising it. It depends on what you feel like doing. And again, you don't necessarily have to leave Hero and Dark Chao in Hero Chao or Dark Chao gardens respectively. You can choose to take them up there and leave them there, or you can just leave them in the neutral garden. It's entirely up to you. Speaking of the Hero Garden, I didn't really know about this until quite some time ago, but in the original Dreamcast release, it was possible for Tails to drown in the Hero Garden. But in the GameCube release onwards, they changed the Hero Garden quite a bit and lowered the water level so Tails no longer can drown in it. Considering that Tails has the shortest character model out of all the characters here, it makes sense as to how it was even possible in the first place. But even so, still something worth mentioning. But yeah, here's the Hero Garden. Very nice and serene. Makes sense considering that it is up in the clouds, representing heaven, and of course the Dark Garden represents hell. Just saying. Now all there's left to do is to wait for Akechi. Once Akechi evolves, then the real fun begins. It looks like Akechi is taking a nap. Makes sense. That's fine. I can totally wait for him. He's probably dreaming of delicious pancakes right now. Then again, he's probably dreaming of stabbing the ever-loving crap out of him. I'm going to hell when I die.
Everything will be okay.
Here, eat this just a little bit longer. See if we can get this up to at least level 16. By the way, I haven't really taken a look at the Futaba as far as her Chao type yet. I guess we can do that before we head out and take on another level as a dark character to continue working on Akechi, if you know what I mean. It's still kind of interesting to see that the Futaba's shell glitched out and became black temporarily. I honestly have no idea what that's all about. It's kinda weird.
Everything will be okay. Sure.
Also, apologies again for the random freezing. Nothing I can do. Now then, let's see what kind of Chao you are, as frickin' Tails kicked to the frickin' side and twisted his leg, like roughly 45 degrees. Let's see. She's a flying type as well. Interesting. I didn't think she would be a flying type, but alas. Alrighty. Let's see if we can pick anything up from the black market. Anything of interest. Well, just some mushroom, some stuff to throw onto your Chao if you so wish. That's really about it. You know what, maybe I'll pick up some dark fruit. By the way, you can purchase up to 5 items at once. Afterwards, the shopkeeper will refuse to sell you any additional items. You have to drop the items back off at the Chao Garden first, or it'll be the Hero Garden, the Neutral Chao Garden, or the Dark Garden. It doesn't matter. You just have to drop off the items first and foremost.
Here. Everything will be okay.
Okay. And before we head out, I'm gonna see if I can get Akechi to just push him that much further. Push him a little bit further towards the dark side. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel as though the fruit will vanish if, they'll vanish if you leave the Chao Garden altogether. I can't say if that's true or not, but just in case, just to be on the safe side.
Here.
I know animals vanish if you don't use them. Even so, just saying. There you go. Again, to reiterate, the Hero and Dark Fruit may not be the most effective way of forcing a Chao's alignment, but I feel like giving them at least one of these things will kind of shift their alignment a little bit more and just give them that extra push towards the proper alignment, if you know what I mean. One more thing worth mentioning here is, since Chao Garden data is a separate save file of sorts that is shared between all regular main game save files, if a Chao evolves and it evolves into the wrong evolutionary line, like if you want a neutral Chao but instead it becomes a Hero Chao or Dark Chao, then simply closing the game and reopening it will make it so the game reverts back to the original state of which the Chao Garden was when you entered it. So, even though you may lose the stats of the Chao that you just raised just a little bit from that particular moment, it gives you a chance to try again though, so not all is lost. Like for example, if Akechi were to evolve into a Hero Chao rather than a Dark Chao right now, then of course I would reset. I would reset the entire game. Annoying, yes, but it would have to be done. Oh, would you look at that? Looks like our newborn Chao is hatched. Ain't that sweet? Too bad you aren't going to be used at all. And hell, you're just going to be... Whoa! Would you look at that? Akechi is evolving as well! Oh, finally! About damn time! And of course, for whatever reason, the texture on his transformation thing glitched and turned black. That's not supposed to happen. It's kind of weird. Why does that happen? Nobody knows! Your guess is as good as mine. So we're roughly an hour and 42 minutes into this session, and I think now would be a good time to finally take on the Chao activities that I've been moving on to for quite some time. And you say hello to Dark Chao Akechi. Akechi-kun finally arrives in his most powerful form yet. As far as what type of Chao he is, I have no idea. Might as well go ahead and show off the Dark Garden now, which, upon unlocking the Hero Garden and Dark Garden respectively, you will earn an achievement known as Heaven and Hell. Makes sense considering the circumstances. Anywho, again, just like with the Hero Garden, the Dark Garden also received a significant change between versions. From the GameCube release onwards, the design of the Dark Garden looks exactly like this. But in the Dreamcast release, what happens is there is a cave around here, around this moat, normally. But for whatever reason, it's sealed off in this release. And really, all future re-releases of the game from GameCube onward. Just saying. So really, the Dark Garden is supposed to represent hell, as you can tell. And I'm not trying to rhyme. I'm just stating the obvious facts. But as you can see, the Dark Garden, as you see here, is just nothing but pain and misery, and it looks like nothing but everlasting despair. There's no fire, just only darkness and a pool of blood. At least that's what it looks like here. Just saying, though. Anyway, I think we got time to do this, at least for the first set of the Chao activities. And this set of Chao activities is going to be probably the most fun, and not the most time-consuming thing out there, but even so. Anywho, in order to access the Chao activities, all you have to do is go into the neutral Chao Garden and go behind the waterfall here. Here you get to choose between doing the Chao races or the Chao karate. This applies in the GameCube release and all future re-releases if you have the Battle DLC installed. If you don't have the Battle DLC installed, then I think you'll only have access to the Chao races, so keep this in mind. So let's take care of the Chao karate first.